everyone. Welcome to At Home with Sally. I'm Sally Clarkson, and I have the biggest privilege in the world to be with so many friends from all over the world who join me every week to listen to my stories, inspiration, biblical encouragement, and I am just so glad that you're here today. Thanks so much for joining me. Hello, my friends. Happy Tea Time Tuesday. I am actually getting ready to run to the airport in just about 20 or 30 minutes, but I just wanted to say hi to you today and give you a little tiny bit of a tea time before I left, because I am planning on taking the first 2 or 3 days when I get to Oxford off. Sometime I'm going to tell you a little bit about my Oxford life and my Oxford times. I have many friends there. I have a dear friend, Jackie, for those of you who have followed our adventures on Instagram, is coming from London to pick me up at Heathrow Airport. And we will drive and giggle and have fun, probably go out to coffee. And then Joel said, "Mom, I will have lunch ready for you. Just tell me when you're getting here, and I'll either have some kind of wonderful brunch or scrambled eggs or breakfast, or I will take you out to lunch, whatever you want to do. Let's just have some fun together." Well, as it happens, Joy texted me. This doesn't happen all the time, but I'm going to take it. She texted me and she said, "Hey, Mom, would you like me to make dinner tomorrow night? What would you like? What kind of things do you want in the in the refrigerator?" And so I'm doing that. I already have a bunch of my sweet, wonderful graduate students that I work with on Thursday nights have said, "Let's get together for a tea time and talking." And I want you to pray with me. I just adore these women that I get to work with on Monday nights and Thursday nights. Pray with me that I will really be able to make the time to deeply encourage, inspire, and come alongside them as friends this year. So anyway, I wanted to give you a little bit of just why I'm going to talk about this today. I have my quote today is in Tea Time Tuesday, in reference to Tea Time Tuesday, is "Make space for relationships by setting apart time with a loved one." And I wanted to tell you, you've heard me say this more and more, but I think sometimes when you hear something from time to time, and this is why I truly love it when you spend time with me on Tea Time Tuesdays, I want you to be filling your heart, and I hope I say some things or prompt areas that are fun, but also give you a little bit of encouragement in your very busy and demanding lives. But as I look back, finances, I think it's the same in any family, any single woman, any working woman. Either finances were always interesting, and that means they were sometimes hard or stressful. In our family, with 6 of us in a family, there was always more need for money. Things came up, like Joy had to have braces. She had really fallen several times as a toddler and knocked her teeth inward. She needed braces. All the kids needed a car, Sarah, Joel, and Nathan, because they were going places, they were doing things, and so we needed to save up to buy a kid's car because they were always taking mine, and I had to I had to go to different things myself. There were special occasions, there were lessons, there were trips, always a need for some kind of a clothing piece. I'm going to a party, I'm doing whatever. So I was thinking about this one day because I didn't want to always create stress for Clay when I wanted some money to do something special. So I started making what I call my own little hidden treasure box. And I'm not going to tell you where it is because it's still there. But whenever I would get a check from someone, say for Christmas or my birthday, or, whatever you get checks for, or whatever you get a little bit of extra money, maybe it's your grocery money, just a little bit at a time. But I would put that money, I would cash the check, and I would put it in my own little hidden box. It was for special occasions. It didn't go into the general checking account because I didn't want to have to bother Clay when I wanted to treat myself or the kids. And so when I needed some money for a splurge, there it was. There was my my little private bank of my stashed away money. And the habit has really served me well over the years. Sometimes I've gathered quite a bit of money to use on trips. But recently I had an occasion, and you can see from the picture in my Instagram, and also you can see it on my blog, sallyclarkson.com, this picture of when Nathan and Keelia were visiting Oxford in November. I snuck some money out of my treasure box, and I took them to a lovely little private hotel. It's a shame because it's so near me. It's always tempting me to go there. But it's called the Old Parsonage. It used to be a parsonage right in the middle of Oxford. And oh my goodness, there's such fun stories. I've researched it a little bit and found out some of the stories. But I'm on my way to the airport today, so I can't tell you all the stories. But anyway, they have a wonderful, smallish dining area. And on all of the walls, there are oil paintings of really interesting people. And whenever this was a popular, it looks more like it was a kind of a 1920s or 30s type of a time, a Poirot, if you watch Poirot, sort of time. On all the walls, they have a little boy, someone in a swimming suit, a family. They have artists. Anyway, it's real fun, and it's a lovely little place. And so I said, how would you like to go there? And we can just talk and be friends. And so you can buy the expensive high tea, but we don't do that. We go and we get ourselves either a cup of tea or coffee, and each one of us gets a special cake or a specialty sweet, some kind of pastry. In other words, we go and celebrate and have this beautiful time, but we don't spend the expensive dollars. We have just what I need for a special treat to say, I think you're so wonderful. I'm so glad you're here. But anyway, so we get to share what's on our hearts, enjoy the quiet and the beauty. And you can see in the photo today that I ordered a classic ginger cake. Oh my goodness, it was warm and buttery. It's a very traditional thing in England. And it was so wonderful. And we each got a different thing and shared bites. But anyway, I would encourage you, find creative ways. Maybe you can work to make a little bit of extra money on a special weekend event or something, whatever you do. I was great at learning how to stash away my secret treasure chest, and still do to this day. Just used it last week. But I thought today I might just give you a couple of other quick things before I say goodbye to you. Instead of a recipe today, I thought I would just say some people have enjoyed this and some people said, oh no, I missed it. I am a sort of a 75 or 80% health nut because I am getting older. I do want to have low cholesterol. I want to preserve my just my body, my legs that I had surgery last year, so many things. And so I have made a study many years of my life actually, but this is kind of my own limited list. You need to find what works for you. You need to find a few simple goals that work for you. But I wanted to find some things that were both good for my health, good for my cholesterol, good for having lots of vitamins and minerals and fighting against all the terrible diseases, but also something that built my brain power that would help keep me from getting senile too early. All of our parents were senile before they died, so it doesn't look good for Clay and me. However, I am doing lots of things that are helping me, and I thought, maybe some of this would help you. Now, my list, I've called mini lists, but my list is about things that are easy enough for me. I can get them, put them in my fridge, grab a handful of this during the day, and I try to do 5 to 8 of these every single day. And then I don't feel so bad on the weekends when I splurge or when I go out for tea or with someone or something. So every day I eat at least a handful of walnuts, whatever one serving is. Walnuts are so good for you. They look like your brain, and they are really good for brain power, for getting rid of all sorts of swelling in your body and in the different areas that are difficult. So walnuts, avocados. They say that if you eat a cup of blueberries a day, or even 3/4 a cup or half a cup, that you're going to have 20 to 25% less damage to your body, to your brain, to your cells in a year compared to other people who did not eat blueberries. Lemon juice, citrus is so good for you. So I just put a couple of tablespoons of lemon into water, and when I get up in the mornings, and there I have my citrus right there without lots of sugar. I keep greens in my refrigerator. I love lamb's ear. You know that because I can get it all the time in the UK. I keep romaine. I keep different. You might want kale. You might want baby lettuce, whatever you want. I keep greens, and my kids think this is so funny. I don't always have time to make a salad. And also, sometimes salads have these very high-calorie dressings on them. So I just take a big wad of greens and munch on it sometime during the day. I have found that eating lots of beans, pinto, black beans, the beans that you make hummus out of, any kind of beans are really good for you. Just a few even. Just keep some cooked up beans in your fridge and eat a couple of bites when you're starving. I also try to include salmon or trout or, on a limited basis, tuna in my diet 2 or 3 times a week. Baked, not fried. Having a couple of tablespoons of olive oil every day in your diet, or if you do salad, whatever you do, olive oil. There are other oils that you can get, but I usually get olive oil for me because we don't have lots of people in our family right now, so I just get one bottle of something that's going to help me. Pomegranate seeds are so healthy for you. From time to time, buy kiwis. Kiwis are excellent for you, and they're great fiber. So those are my go-tos that I eat, but I eat them just a handful at a time, and I get my vitamins, my fiber, my healthy fats. And then I would say drink water all the time, at least when you get up from your computer, once an hour, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. Then drink a half a glass of water or a glass of water. It is so excellent for you. So don't sit too long. Because I spend hours and hours on my computer writing, podcasting, interviews, I get up at least 10 minutes every hour. I'll walk around the house. I'll get some chores done. I'll walk to the mailbox. But you can store up lots of steps by getting a few at a time all day long. And it keeps you from the unhealthy fat. One of the worst things you can do is just sitting hunched over a computer all day long. It develops fat around your heart, around your tummy. It's just very terrible for you. And so learn to get up and walk around. My little Fitbit reminds me every hour to get up and go, which is irritating and helpful. Okay, so this is what we've been eating lately to kind of try to stave off some of the calories. We make burrito bowls, which is basically brown rice, some kind of beans. We usually do some kind of low-fat meat, chicken or ground turkey, hummus, and tomatoes and onions and sometimes salsa, and then just a few chips, like for one serving, ground on the top. It's so good. Or we will eat hummus and veggies at lunch. Or I make chicken or turkey pot pie soup. It's in the Life-Giving Table. My family loves this. Everybody I've ever served this to loves it. Sometimes I have a feeling that I do things differently than what I tell other people in a recipe because I'm one of these, add a little bit of this. Oh, it didn't taste right today. I think maybe the thyme wasn't as fresh as it usually is. But anyway, you can find the recipe in my Life-Giving Table soup book. Sometimes we eat ground turkey patties and make them into hamburgers. We make ground turkey spaghetti. Can you tell there's a pattern here? Keely and Nathan don't like red meat, and so I've learned to substitute for all my family ground turkey or ground chicken. And then I often make chili, but I also like the traditional chili with a ground meat, tomatoes, onions, garlic, you know what, I can't even think whatever else, but your traditional chili. But then I love green chili chicken with chicken. It's so wonderful, and you can find any recipes online. But that's one of my favorite things. It's green chili, Chile, with chicken. Or I make tortilla soup, which is also, these are fun winter soups that you can have that really are crowd pleasers. Okay, the reason I walk so much, my friends, number one, I'm a person of high adrenaline because I'm always have deadlines and things I'm doing. So I try to walk places. I walk 5 to 7 miles a day when I'm in the UK, just about 3 miles a day when I'm here at home because it's been so cold and snowy. That walking or do whatever exercise, lift up 2 big cans of vegetables or something 10 times a day when you're just looking in the cabinet to see what you want for dinner. That helps your muscle mass. Anyway, those are my best tips that I do all the time. It's just a part of making myself healthy. And of course, I have 2 cups of tea and 2 cups of coffee every single day. And I collect all of the research that tells me how good coffee and tea is for you. Drink a little bit of green tea if you can, because they say that they're finding that's even better and better than you thought. So there are my best encouragements for that. I could, I'm kind of running out of time a little bit here. So I'm just going to go to, I think I'm just going to read some scripture to you that are my favorite scriptures. Well, I'll read this quote by Henry Nouwen, which kind of goes along with what I wanted to end on today. When we honestly ask ourselves which person in our lives means the most to us, we often find that it is those who, instead of giving advice, solutions, or cures, have chosen rather to share our pain, to touch our wounds with a warm and tender hand. And so I think that, I'm always helping people think through what does it look like to have a good relationship, because relationships are the core of doing well with people you work with, doing well with people you're in church with, doing well with your children, your husband, your friends. And so I thought that's so true. I'm much more likely if somebody cares for me, makes space for me, brings me a cup of soup or a cup of tea, talks to me, it commiserates with me instead of just correcting me. I'm much more likely to want to be close to them. Or if they always come to me with their needs, then, like demands, I'm much more likely to be with somebody who kind of has a give and take relationship with me. But I thought I would end today because this is such a necessary passage to memorize, and I've probably told it to you before, but it's such a great group of words to have in your mind. It will speak to you if you memorize it. It will teach you. It will remind you. It will help you be able to go forward in those great relationships. So this is Romans 12, 9 through 21. So I'm going to say, my friends, as though it's from Paul to you, but it's really from me to you through Paul. Love must be sincere. Hate what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. Don't be prideful. Don't be self-centered. Don't be pompous. Never lack in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor serving the Lord. That's what I seek to do all the time. Keep going forward. Keep going forward. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer, and share with the Lord's people who are in need. Practice hospitality. Now, I'm going to be sharing some more of this verse. Actually, I'm just doing 9 through 12 today. But I promise you, if you memorize this, it will serve you to give you guidance and wisdom the rest of your life, because you're always going to have relationships, and you are always going to be a little bit broken and do things that you regret doing in relationships. Don't we always want to take words back? But you're also going to be around other people who are going to need this picture of love in action. Love must be sincere. Hate what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. Never be lacking in zeal, but keep spiritual fervor serving the Lord. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Share with the Lord's people who are in need, and practice hospitality. Well, my friends, I must go be with my sweet ones before I leave, so let me pray for you. Lord, help my precious friends to find time. It can be a tea time that they drink something else with, or that they just have hot water and lemon juice or coffee or whatever, but help them to get this practice of breathing, of taking time to flourish, of taking time to settle their hearts, and help them, Lord, this week to be able to do and grow in what is love in action. I thank you for Paul, that he was such a great encourager, and I pray that my precious friends will be encouraged this week. Lord, we love you and we give our week to you in Jesus' name. All right, my friends, thank you so much for being with me today. Happy Tea Time Tuesday. I hope you've enjoyed our time together today and that you'll join me next week. Be sure to look for more inspiration on my blog at sallyclarkson.com. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.